So welcome to the introduction to our Epub network. What has transpired over a period of years is that our members are starting to combine with print email newsletters that they are able to not only provide to their advertisers but also their readers. So they are able to send out their newspapers, their free circulation publications, their shoppers to the readers online as well. So what we're doing is actually taking our network, which is our MacNet network, and including an Epub with it as well. So what we're going to look at is what the network is, what the network is not, how it will be sold, what can be earned by becoming an Epub participant, what can be earned by selling the Epub network, and how to participate. So currently, we have been doing a survey over the last month to determine what we have as far as circulation, or how they refer to these. They're not circulation, but addresses. The Epub network is going to be a way in which to provide advertisers with a choice to advertise not only in our print network, but also combine the print and the email publications together. So right now, the 300,000 plus circulation we have is located in these areas of our network. What the Epub network is, like our MacNet micronets, which we have the full area of our MacNet network, but then we break it out into East, Central, and West. And the idea is that we'll be able to break this out so that when a person is looking at this map and says, I want to go just into New Jersey, along with being in the East network, we'll be able to just choose the publication for the e-newsletters for that area. The ads can either be a small display. We're thinking that rather than having these be text ads, these are going to be small display or advertorials with photos, so that it creates even some content for us. An example might be, we have right now a hearing aid company that runs through the network as a PPC. We could go back to them and say we want to do an advertorial on the benefits to hearing aids and have that be a way in which to drive traffic for that PPC ad. The ad would run for a month, and the publishers would have the option to run the ad once or multiple times. What we mean by that is we have some of our members in the print network are monthly publications. Obviously, these ads, we would want them to run in that monthly publication, but we would also give them that ability to be seen in the weekly publication e-newsletter only more than one time. And that's really up to the publisher. The publisher would not be paid more for that multiple insertion. What it is not. The Epub network will not be a standalone choice for advertisers. They will be able to purchase the Epub network only when purchasing the print network. And that's just to make it stronger for both the print network and the Epub network. Should there be an interest in purchasing only the Epub network, and we've had that happen already, there would be an option to use an email enhanced campaign through Site Impact, which will have a premium rate. The Epub network will be sold as follows. We have 4 different levels. So the minimum is 10,000. So if a person comes to us and says, I only want 5,000, that's all I want to pay for, the minimum is 10,000 as far as the cost is. So that 5,000 would be $100, okay? The 10,000 to 25,000 still stays within that $10 a thousand. 25 to 50 is $9 a thousand. 50,000 up is $8 a thousand. What you as a participating publisher can earn. For the minimum of 10,000 and all the way up to the 25,000, you would be receiving $5 a thousand for your part in that purchase. From 25 to 50, it would be $4.50 a thousand. 50,000 and up, the $4 a thousand. How you would be paid is we would need to be included on your email list to see the ads and be provided with screenshots of the data showing the amount of addresses and the results for the client to see. What can be earned to sell the Epub network? The 60-40 split is what we do for our print publications right now when a member sells advertising into the association. Because we're combining the print and the Epub together, we'll use that same pattern of a 60-40 split. So an example is if we have 20,000 addresses sold, the publishers receive $100, which is that their half, and the association receives $60 of that, and the selling publisher receives $40. So we're taking the $200 and the publishers receive that $100 for running the ad in their Epub, and the association is receiving $60 of that, and the selling pub receives $40. So how to participate? By completing our online survey, it begins the process for us to know your circulation and your information so that we can include you with the network. Any questions?
Alice, I have two questions. First of all, I think you did a good job on putting that together. So the first question, and you'll know why I'm asking this, the other group doesn't really know, but are we going to use Constant Contact? Are we going to use MailChimp, or what platform are we going to use for the?
That is up to the publisher. Because whatever platform you are using, what will happen is, and Margaret's asking, are there standard sizes? I don't know that we've determined that yet, but let me go back to yours. I know for a fact that Ruth, who is part of this, is using Send in Blue, which is another email platform. So the feeling is that, yes, we should have standard sizes, just like a medium rectangle for an ad or anything of that nature, because we should determine what those are. I don't know that the committee has done that yet, as far as what those standard sizes should be. And then that's what's going to be sent. So we would send you either a PDF or a JPEG.
And then the other question would be, how often are we planning to have this sent out? Weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, daily, or, you know?
What my understanding is when someone buys an ad, we're sending that ad out to the publishers. This network Alice is going to send the ad out, or the office will send the ad out, and you can pop it into your own newsletter at some point during the month.
So if we were to look at taking an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of paper and creating the ad that way, one, it will be a high resolution because we're sending you something much larger than what it's going to go into. So it's going to keep its quality. And maybe that's how we do it. We're going to create say to them, because it's a common measurement that we can feel comfortable with them, to them, do it an 8.5 by 5.5, send that to us it could be sent to us as a PDF, and we can easily either pop it in as a PDF. No. In Constant Contact, if a PDF is a PDF, so it would have to definitely be changed to a JPEG or a PNG.
Alice, is the office creating all these ads?
Are we creating the ad? My plan is not to. Ad, I feel as though the ad should be supplied by the person who wants it, only to keep the costs down on our end, or the time down on our end. That's why if we use something common like, say, 8.5 by 5.5, everybody knows that. Even if it's Slate Road Supply, I can say to him, create it in an 8.5, in a Word document to me, and go from there.
I see.
What do you think?
Well, I'd be fine with interlaced billing anybody for the creative.
Right.
And that's outside the
Right.
60/40 formula. So Alice, the money we're paying to the publishers, how does that work? To get
It'll be
divided?
very similar to what we have done to do a display ad. So and I'll choose Slate Road Supply. He was in the full network. Now maybe he wants to do more over in Ohio. With Adam Street Publishing, she has 100,000 circulation. So maybe he's going to say to me, I really only want 20,000 circulation over there, which is going to be the equivalent to that $200. So then I'll say to Colette Jacobs, we only want 20,000 circulation in your e-newsletter area, and that's going to really be up to her to choose the right area, based on what he wants, because he'll want rural. That's what he'll want. So then what she's going to do is she's going to provide us, first of all, and everybody's going to include MacNet on their e-newsletter. Just like I'm on Ron's right now. I get his e-newsletters on a regular basis. You'll include us, but then after Colette runs at 20,000, she's going to send us nothing more than a screenshot of the results. So whatever you're using for an email system, Constant Contact, Sendinblue, MailChimp, you're going to be able to give reports of, we send it to, and we know it's not going to be exactly 20,000. It may be 20,001, You'll send that to us. We'll be able to send that to the advertiser, and then we'll pay the publisher for their part in it. And that's going to be the $5 per 1,000. So that for that 20,000, she'd see $100 of that.
Hey, can I circle back to that hearing aid people? They're pay per call, right?
Yes, they are pay-per-call.
Hearing aids. So how does that convey with this
Yeah,
EPUB?
that's a good question, John.
For the pay-per-call, obviously, we are looking for what it's going to pay directly to the association. It would not be a guarantee back to the publishers. So what we would say there in that case is we'd say, okay, we're doing this pay-per-call, and we can't guarantee you what you are going to be receiving for placing the ad in the Epub network. But, you know, we will have proof of what that creates in money back to it. So I think if anything, we need to look at those as like we do with the donated 2x2. We need to treat that the very same way. Yeah, that is donated, and then if we have made money on it, let's share it. You know, let's get it out to the publishers based on the amount of circulation or addresses they provided us.
I see.
Can't really, you know, again, PPCs are one of those things where one week we might make $10 and the next week we might make $300. Depends upon what's happening. Yeah. Yeah. So.
So that's not a lot of extra book work for you guys tracking that paper call or paper click?
No, I don't really see it being any more difficult. It comes down to just having it in an Excel spreadsheet, and here are the publishers we have, here's their circulation, this is what they provided for this advertiser, and, you know, check, and send off the checks.
Will you have specific codes? Let's say, you know, for the Franklin shopper, if I run it in mine, that if someone calls in, this is the code. So it's like I sell 10 hearing aids and that's $600 or whatever it is.
I like that idea. Well, that too, how are we going to know?
I think you'd almost have to give a specific, you know, code like they do with media bids or something.
Right. Well, let me find out from Jacqueline whether for that's a really cool idea. Because if I say to Jacqueline, I need individual codes for the e-newsletters, EPUBs, so that they get credit for whatever they've produced in sales, that might be the incentive for running the PPCs that way, because then, Margaret, you sell 10, you get that money. If another one sells 5 or 2.
Who's got the oldest population?
Yeah, really.
Those were really, really good questions. I am going to obviously take this and fine tune it so that I can send it to the other publishers who had questions. I think what we'll end up doing on the MacNet Online website is creating a section on there that's going to show our publishers so advertisers can pick and choose where they want to place the email a network of their choice, and then we'll take it from there.
And will the sign-up application be online also?
The one that I showed, that one we have online on MacPA. because I really don't know that I want to have it over on MacNet Online, because that's more of an internal form for our publishers. And MacNet is more external.
So maybe in the next MacPub minute or whatever the name of it is,
Messenger moment.
Messenger Moment, you could include a link to that to sign up.
Sure, absolutely.